everybody, I'm Steve Neuhaus, and welcome to This Week Chat. My special guest this evening is a 19-year-old from Chicago's southwest suburbs. Over the past few years, he's accomplished so much at a young age. Please welcome Aaron Hanania. Aaron, thanks for joining me tonight.
Thanks for having me, Steve. It's a great day to be here.
Thank you. Like I said, you have done so much over the last few years. Published a book. You're involved with social media, music.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about it.
Oh, man. Yeah, you're going way back. So in high school, I guess I'll go chronologically here. So in high school, junior year of high school, I was sitting in a psychology class, and we were learning about the 1972 Stanford Prison Experiment, which, as you guys know, if you guys don't know what it is, it's an experiment in which college students were put to the test as jail guards versus prisoners. I thought that was cool. I love psychology. So then I did a completely different twist. It has nothing to do with that, but that's kind of where my mind was when I wrote my book. I'm going to see if there we go. It's called The King's Pawn. And what it's about is they're kids put in a perfectly controlled society. There's no such thing as odd numbers. I mean, it's that controlled. And they're given full power. And I wanted to see what happens when kids get power. And there's a lot of real research that was put into this book with youth psychology. I spent about 6 months learning about how youths think and would act. So that's how I wrote this book. And that was my first one. And the cool thing about it is I wrote it on my phone, like entirely on my iPhone, like during school, which was just really cool.
Wow, that's really awesome. Any plans for another book? Yeah,
so I published this one in May of like 2018 or 2019. The years kind of blend, and then this year I rewrote it, so now it'll be 70 pages more. Instead of doing 2 books, I condensed it. Then after I published that one, I started writing a book about a pandemic. Then a real pandemic happened. It was happenstance. And then I wrote another book about like the world ending kind of thing. So I'm writing 3 books right now on the side of doing music and social media influencing and doing interviews like this. So it's busy.
Yeah, that's great. So tell me about the social media that you're getting involved in.
Right. So that's new for me, actually. So COVID-19 happened in early March of 2020. And April 7th, I was sitting outside, and there's a platform called TikTok, which is, if you guys don't know, it's a platform where you can post 15-second videos or minute-long videos about whatever. It's popular among younger people. And I knew a lot of people their hopes were down. You know, it's a pandemic, and people aren't happy. So I said, why don't I do positivity? So like just say, go out and live life to the fullest every day, because be happy that you're here. You know, just small little messages like that. And I got 15,000 followers in a month. So then I realized that I can use social media to my advantage. Then I started making YouTube videos. Then I directed people to my music Instagram. So now I've been able to grow my own brand. I have merch, all because of positivity. So that's what I do now on social media. Is every day I post something positive to help people if they're feeling down. And it has changed lives, I tell you. I've gotten so many messages. I have a whole pile of letters here from like people that have written to me just saying how much I've changed their life. It's just an amazing thing that I do, Steve.
Aaron, that is awesome. That's great advice that you're giving people.
Thank you.
So you have a guitar there on your lap.
Yep.
Are you into music?
Sir, so I'm a recording artist, so meaning I write and produce my own songs. So I actually use this microphone with this guitar, plug it into a recording system, and I write songs. So I sit here for hours just like, just trying different chords until I find a melody that works. And then I write down the lyrics on a computer, and then I put it all together. So just a week ago, on June 5th, I released a song called White River. So it goes, I'm not going to sing it, but it's like... So I did a song like that where it's kind of really, there's ocean in the background because I wanted to help calm people during the pandemic. Then a couple weeks ago, before that, I did like a song like this where it's really kind of like ominous called Mine Shaft. So yeah, I've been so busy with music, social media, doing interviews like this. And it's really allowed me to spend my time wisely and help people out. It really has.
Right. So what many people may not know, you were actually involved in interviews, but you were the gentleman holding the mic. You
yeah.
A few famous people that we may know.
Yeah, so I interviewed, the biggest one that I've done was Anthony Rizzo from the Chicago Cubs. I did it 2015, the year before they won the World Series. That was just so cool because, I grew up being a Cubs fan. I love baseball. So I was told, hey, Anthony Rizzo is going to be here at this place at this time. Would you want to do an interview? And I had never done an interview before. So I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do? I tried it. And as you know, Steve, you're a journalist. Sometimes in interviews, they don't always go as planned. You just ask questions you genuinely wonder. If you're curious about it, chances are there's other people who are curious about it. So I had paper in that interview, and it's famous. You'll see it. And I'm like flipping around, trying to find it. So then I realized that doesn't work. So I just started asking questions, and that changed my life. Then I was able to interview Super Bowl champion Michael Schofield before he won the Super Bowl, and then like 2 weeks afterwards. So that was really, really cool. Then a couple of years later, I got to interview the whole Chicago White Sox at the Sox Fest. Then I went to the Cubs convention, met the whole team again. So those are probably the biggest ones. Well, people of your generation would know Sven Gulli if you're from Chicago. I interviewed him twice, actually. And then Michael Madigan, who's a Speaker of the House of Illinois, I got to interview him at a corporate event. So that was really cool.
What an opportunity. Not many guys your age could say they've experienced that.
No, and I'm proud of it. It's very cool. It's something that I'm honored to be able to say I've done.
Yeah, that's great. Getting back to the music, well, that's not really your major, is it?
No, so I just ended my first year of college, so I'm a rising sophomore. Our school year, we had to go online because of COVID-19. But my focus is environmental science. I want to do environmental law with a focus on preserving marine ecosystems. So basically, in layman's terms, I want to help save the oceans because as you guys have seen, there's so much degradation going on there. I want to be able to have an impact so that when I'm older, when I have kids, the ocean's going to be a clean place because right now it won't be.
Yeah, that's true. So let me just ask you, what advice would you give somebody who wants to do some of the things you have done, particularly write a book?
Right. So the biggest thing that when I speak a lot is that anybody can do it. There's a false notion that, oh, you must have had this to do it. No. Anybody can do it if you put your mind to it. So the first thing, Steve, I would say that dedicate. Know you want to do it. Put in the time. Put in the effort. No, it's not going to necessarily be easy. There'll be times where you'll want to give up, but you need to get up and continue trying. You have to be persistent, but find a simple idea and elaborate on it. My running joke is finding a 5-page idea and make it 200 pages. Create a plot around it. It could be a simple idea like this interview, and then all of a sudden aliens come in, and then you and I, we're on Zoom. Maybe then you're just next door in a different room. We run out of the room and go run around the country. That could be a book. It's you just take one idea and turn it into something. So that's my advice for young people is just find one idea and just roll with it.
That's great. If people want to learn more about what you're doing and follow you on social media, Facebook, and where do they go?
So AaronHananiaMusic.com is my main website now, where you get to hear my music. You get to see how I do it. There's videos about my recording setup as well. You can go to my YouTube page, Aaron Hanania. Everything is just my name, Aaron Hanania. That's how you spell my last name if you're interested. It's all the same thing. So Steve will have some cool things on the screen here. I'm going to
put the links up right now as we talk. Aaron, thank you. So anything else you want to add? I'm sorry.
No, I just want people to know that, you can't give up. You got to keep trying. Things get hard. Yeah, we all go through storms in life. They all have bad days, but on the other side of that is going to be sunshine and good vibes.
Great advice, my friend.
Thank you
so much for joining me on this week's chat.
And it's a lot of fun.
Follow Aaron on his social media links. Can I ask you a favor? Would you want to, I have a budget here, so I can't afford some, music and everything. You want to close out the show with one of your tunes?
Sure, I'm going to do a fun voice for you. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the Steve Neuhaus chat with Steve Neuhaus. And then I'll play, this is my song, Wise Man. You were looking for me today, looking for the hopes you had. You will hold my hand today, looking for the dreams you had, looking and it you seem timed in. It created pain for me and you. And now it's lost in time. It's time lost in knowledge. How do I get it back before it's gone for good? Thank you.
Aaron, thank you. Thanks everybody for watching, and follow us on YouTube and Facebook for our next show. And always a pleasure talking to you, Aaron. Appreciate it.
Thanks again, Steve. Have a good one and stay safe, everybody.
Thanks, Aaron. So long, everybody.